Hello everyone, welcome to the eve of match briefing from New Zealand before the semi-final against Argentina tomorrow. We've got on the top table Damian McKenzie, head coach Ian Foster, and Anton lienert-brown. We'll go straight to the first question.
Hi guys, I'm Sergio Stuart from Ole Newspaper. This question is for you, Mr. Foster. Well, Pumas beat All Blacks twice. In the old days, we never thought that this can be happen. But today, Pumas, for me, are the underdogs. You are the favorites. I want to know what is your opinion about the Argentinian team, and if you, I don't know that you don't want to this happen. If you think that Pumas can beat the All Blacks,
well, they're in two teams in a semi-final. Anyone can win, so that's the first mindset that both teams have probably got. So, look, we're massively respectful of Argentina. We know that they've had a great tournament. We don't sort of live in the past too much in terms of past results, because World Cup tournaments are about the present, and I really believe that. You know, it's about the best team on the night, and if you go into a World Cup semi-final with any expectation that the past is going to just happen again, then you're going to be in problems. So, look, we're just excited about being there ourselves. We've been impressed with Argentina, how they've carried their campaign. I thought it was a great victory against Wales, where they showed their tenacity, and we know that they've got that because we play them regularly, and they've always been a difficult opponent. So there'll be no surprises.
Thank you. Question for Anton. You're obviously there in 2019 in that squad, and a lot's been made of that semi-final and how it unfolded. I was just wondering, could you give us an insight into the role of the leadership group this week and how vital they've been in, I suppose, what happened in 2019 and helping, I suppose, ensure that doesn't happen again?
Yeah, I guess, from 2019, I guess from that experience, you learn a lot, and it's clear that we've got some outstanding leaders in the team, and pretty much all of them were there, and I know that sort of loss is driving some of them. So yeah, I guess at the World Cup experience is key. And I know it's 4 years on, but you can still look back to that week and think about what you learnt from it, and I guess make sure that it doesn't happen again, and you get this week right.
For coach, please, Pierrick for VAR Matin. With Pablo Matera injury, Facundo Isa came back in the team for Argentina, and the game plan changed a bit. Why is Facundo Isa a danger in your mind?
Because he's a good player. He looks fit, powerful, and he brings they've got a lot of damaging ball carriers, and he's probably at the top of the tree. So pretty simple. He's a good player.
Hi, good morning. A question for Ian Foster. After such a big match against Ireland, especially from the physical point of view, are you expecting a different kind of match, maybe, against Argentina? Thank you.
Look, it's different because I've got different jerseys on. It's not different from a physical side. And, I think the good thing about this game is that, we both know how tough each other is. And they're a very physical, combative team, particularly at the breakdown. and particularly the way that they tackle. And so, you know, you look at the likes of Kremer, and he's had a great tournament, and so it's a little bit of the same from what we had in the quarterfinal. And so, you know, we're not going in with any different mindset in that space. And so the moral of the story is that it's a semi-final. We're playing a team that's that we know will scrap and fight for every little bit of possession, and we're going to have to be at our best.
We'll go in the middle and then in the back.
Tēnā tātou. I've just got to pātai some questions for Ian Foster. Given the yellow cards in the last match, how important is the discipline in the next match, and how do you prepare for that?
Yeah, nice question. Oh, I think it's always critical. We were disappointed with one thing we didn't want to do against Ireland is get yellow cards, and we got 2 of them, and one we felt was pretty debatable, and one was fair enough in the circumstances. So, but again, it's a constant. You know, you've just got to really work hard at that. I think our discipline and accuracy has improved consistently through this tournament, and I felt that we had a really disciplined performance again against Ireland, and so I know we had a couple of yellow cards, but for a majority of that game, I felt we actually were very much in control of how everything we did. So we just got to take the confidence from that and expand it out a few more minutes.
Ian, up the back. Dan Carter was at training yesterday. I know you brought in former players throughout the season. Does someone like Dan actually sit down and speak to the team, or is it more informal?
Really informal yesterday. It was just, you know, I know he touched base with a few players, but it's really about having him there. You know, we've brought a number of them in, as you know, before this tournament. We've been privileged enough to have some of them around during the tournament, and the team love it, and I love it, because they've got a rich history of loving this jersey and what the jersey stands for, and they've got a great way of transferring that onto this current group. And often it's not done with words. Sometimes it's just about being there. We couldn't get too close to Dan because he had a nice cream French jacket on that meant none of us could hug him because we were all dirty, so he was pretty protective about getting that dirty too. So we kept our distance, but no, it was great having him in.
Merci. Question for Jan. Prior to the Irish game, Jan,
Who's that?
on your left. Yeah.
Sorry.
Prior to
Kareem.
the Irish game, you said it's a final, and the narrative for all the boys was it's a final. Is it still a final versus Argentina, or last step to a final?
No, it's a final. It's definitely a final, and the concept of no tomorrow in the last game we had is exactly the same this one. And so, you know, we know on a schedule there is another game for the teams that don't win the semi-final, but our mindset, and I'm sure Argentina's is the same, which is they just want to give everything they got this week, and it's all about this week, and that's how we keep things nice and simple in our mind.
And Anton, there's been a pretty consistent message from Ian and the coaches this week around the need to reset after such an emotional occasion against Ireland. In practical terms, as players, how have you gone about doing that? How have you gone about kind of, I guess, physically resetting and more importantly, mentally resetting for this game?
Yeah, I guess no doubt. It was a special one last Saturday, but you know, at the end of the day, we didn't come here to beat Ireland in the quarterfinals. You know, we come here to win the World Cup, and we enjoyed that night. We enjoyed Sunday, and then got back to work on Monday. And you know, Foz has talked about it a lot. Bird and Oka, our mental skills coaches, just about resetting, getting back into the right mindset, and yeah, I think we did that from Monday onwards, because because we know the challenge ahead tomorrow. We've got to go again, and like I said before, we're here to win World Cup, and tomorrow is another step to do that.
In the middle, please.
You'll get one soon, Damian.
But not this time. Ian, there's been a lot of talk about 2019 fueling some of the players that were there, but what's been your message over the last week and leading into this week to the players that are at their first World Cup and about what knockout rugby is all about at a World Cup?
Yeah, can I just say is that most of the talk about 2019 we covered off in about that amount of time, and it's not lingering in our mind. It's because you take the lessons at the time, and then you apply the lessons. And so I think most of the lessons we've got out of 2019 have been taken on board. I think that yes, we make sure we go back and revisit. Okay, well, what were the keys? We've done that, but this group, where I'm really proud of this group right now is that they're just loving being here where they're at right now, and they've shown. I think the hardest thing to do in professional sport is to stay in the now, is to actually be present where you're at and just to nail the thing in front of you, because there's so much talk about the past and talk about the future, and the hardest thing is to not allow yourself to get distracted by those two conversations, but just to be the best you can be right now. And we're working hard at that, and that's the coaching group as well, management team. And so I'm incredibly proud of the way the players are dealing with that, and they're not getting distracted by getting too confused about lessons from the past, because this group right now, it's got its own way of doing things, and so there's a lot of honesty within the group, and they're preparing really well, and we want to get tested tomorrow night, and we will be, and we just want to show that we can just deal with the challenges in front of us one at a time and just keep growing as a group, and that's the goal.
Damian, your luck's in. Can you be kind enough, please, to elaborate just in the comments Ian made about Dan Carter joining training and what input he had with you, and also further to that, just how pulsating it was for you also when you're on the bench last week and you didn't quite get on the field?
Yeah, I think Foz mentioned, obviously we've had them in throughout the year, and obviously they've had a little bit to do with, I guess, things we've done throughout the year. And I think the big thing is just their presence throughout their environment, especially with Desi. He's helped us a lot, particularly us kickers throughout the year. But yeah, I think it's just their presence being there, and obviously they've got a lot of experience and they're legends of the All Blacks jersey. So just to have them in and about the environment is great. Then obviously the role on the bench last weekend, it was pretty nerve-wracking to say the least, but obviously, yeah, my role as a bench player is to come on and make an impact when I can, and whenever I'm required to do that, I'll do that. And last weekend, obviously my role was on the bench, didn't get on, but that's, as a team, you do what you need to do for the team, whether it's on the field or off the field. So yeah, if I get an opportunity this weekend to get on the field, obviously make the most of it. But it's just a great feeling from last weekend. You could definitely show there's a lot of care in that hole for 80 minutes, particularly in that last 5 minutes. So to be a part of that victory, whether you're in the 23 or not, is really exciting.
Damian, 4 years ago you obviously weren't here through injury, and then, like you said, last week you didn't get on. Is there almost a sense of making up for lost time if you were to get on this week?
Not at all. Like I said, my role is on the bench is to come on and make an impact where I can, and I know what I'm capable of doing there, and it's definitely not about coming on to prove a point or make up for that lost time. It's about getting on and just nailing my role within the team. Usually that's to try and speed the game up most times, or be cool-headed when I can be. So yeah, my role as a bench player is to come on and just do my job for the team, not to do anything special, play freely, and nail my role. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting out there to try to prove a point whatsoever.
We'll take two last questions in the middle and then on the side.
Ka pai. D-Mac, Anton, this question's for both of you. Lots of talk about the crowd disrespecting the haka. What's your thoughts about that? Can you even hear them? And what does the next 24 hours look like for you guys personally if you guys prep for the game? Have you guys got any rituals or anything like that?
Yeah, the haka was loud for sure, but I guess we can't control the crowd. They do what they want. For us, it's about just expressing ourselves and through the haka, and I think we did that really well. And then in terms of rituals, not too many rituals. Probably a bit of cards tonight, a fair bit of chocolate, and then tomorrow it's just sort of chill out throughout the day. 9 o'clock kickoff's obviously a late kickoff, so it's just about not getting too keen too early, just enjoying the day, and then looking forward to getting into it later tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think Damo covered off the haka bit, and then very similar. I'll play Damo in 500 tonight. Hopefully get the W, and then enjoy tomorrow. Obviously late kickoff, so you have a lot of time in the morning, catch up with family and my partner, and then we're into it.
I don't touch the chocolate, by the way.
A question for all three, please. How important is the hardy surveyor in the All Black locker, please?
So who asked that question?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. How important is the hardy surveyor in the locker of All Black?
Look, we love Artie. He's a special player, but he's part of our group. He's got a role within our group, and he's a leader, and we love it when he expresses himself. But he'd be the first to admit that he can express himself when our group is functioning at the level that enables him to do that. So, look, he's a special man. He does some great things on the rugby park, but he's part of a group that is excited about expressing ourselves.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.